Okay, welcome back. And y'all, this is literally the third time I've tried to record this instructional video. So if it doesn't work this time, I'm just gonna have to try another day. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to formally introduce you to your next project, and that is the Getty Art Challenge. Now, I've already posted the assignment directions, so posted it as a material. So just click on view that material, open it up. And so let's go over what this is. I'm super excited about this one. I've been seeing this challenge float around social media for about a month now. And I'm like, ooh, I need to drop this. I need to, so it was really like two different things. The project you just finished and this one that I've been anticipating and couldn't wait to show you. And it was so exciting to see all of the other things that you did in Photo 1, the Photo 1 project. Okay, so for the Photo 2 project, you're going to do the Getty Art Challenge, and I'll show you your options with that. So it's an art history mimic challenge. Pose a person or object to recreate a famous work of art, also known as the Getty Art Challenge. So this challenge, if you haven't seen it yet, it's all over social media. Look it up. But I also did post some articles on here to show you and give you a quick little background about what's going on, what it is, etc. I was trying to get the link to open. Oh, right. Let's try this. All right. Okay, so the Getty Art Museum is an art museum in Los Angeles. So I posted the link to the museum itself, the J. Paul Getty Museum. And here you could totally look at their collections and select a work from here. But before you select a work, look at the requirements, because you are limited to stylistic period. And so, or art movement. So I also posted an assignment, and that's where you're selecting what you want to do. So resources are provided, research your artist, etc. But on this resource page, I've given you some specific directions, and then I've also listed the periods and art movements, stylistic periods that you're limited to. So when I say stylistic period, that typically is a region of art. And so, for example, medieval Renaissance art versus art movements is typically a collection of people that decided to do things a certain way and a certain style of their choice. Anywho, so I've listed these different stylistic periods and art movements. So it's up to you to decide which one you want to go with. So pick your art movement or stylistic period, and then pick an artist from that stylistic period or art movement, and then also pick a work from them. So I know this sounds kind of silly, but this site is really awesome at just listing the different movements in chronological order. And I love that it talks about the characteristics, it talks about chief artists and major works, etc. Just a quick little snapshot of each stylistic period. So stylistic periods are more like the Stone Age, Mesopotamian, Egyptian, Greek and Roman, Byzantine, Middle Ages, early Renaissance, etc. And then when you start sort of getting into the isms, that's kind of how I remember it. That's when you start to get into the art movement. So a collection of very specific artists started to work in that particular style. Okay, so these are some of the examples that you can choose from, but you're not limited to this. But this is a great start to get you going and just figure out what direction you want to head. Look at those different artists, look at their different styles, and then think about the things that you have access to at your house. Please do not feel obligated to go out and buy new things. Another thing I posted on here was the articles talking about the challenge itself. So this was really neat, just kind of looking at those different articles and the different posts that people created. It can load for me. Come on. So you can just kind of take a look there. I mean, these folks use flowers. You can see the original piece, and they use like, you know, packaged food and all sorts of things, whatever they could find in their house to represent those different colors. Ooh, these pop-up ads. So this girl lady, oh my gosh, she looks so much like Mona Lisa. You don't have to look like your person at all. And like I said, you don't have to do a physical person. You could pick your sibling, you could do your parent, or you could stage yourself. It's really up to you. If you stage yourself, you might have to have somebody to help you, and think about your lighting as well. So, you know, when you're staging things, you know, pick things like, you know, think about what your background is going to be. Do you have fabric laying around the house, such as a bed sheet or a comforter that you could hang up behind you, or have someone hang it up for you? Could you place it somewhere so that it's your backdrop? And if you decide to do the person, okay, that's awesome. And Frida Kahlo, love how she included her dog and stuffed animals. I mean, the sky's the limit. You know, think about, you know, you have Play-Doh. Do you have Play-Doh laid around? Do you have beads? Do you have puzzle pieces? Do you have Legos? Like, what do you have laying around that you could use? This looks like one of those light fixture things with the Chinese lamps. So many different options here. I love the people that incorporate toilet paper, you know, oh, that's a little, and then cleaning products, because I feel like that sort of speaks to what's going on now, like toilet paper and cleaning products. Like, everyone's obsessed with these items now, and it's so speaking to what's going on right now in our culture. Okay, so those are just some things that I posted. Also, at the bottom of that page, I listed some art museums. So like I showed you, the Art for Dummies, the Getty Museum. Also, the North Carolina Museum of Art has some exhibitions to look at. National Gallery of Art, which is in DC. The North Carolina Museum of Art is in Raleigh, and the Museum of Modern Art is in New York City. So it's really cool that they have some virtual things that you can look at. So, you know, do your research, look at some different options, look at all these different examples and be inspired. Be like, oh yeah, this color could represent that. So think about what colors you have access to in your house and how you could represent your painting. All right, so let's go back to the slide. So those are pretty much all the directions, and you can go through and just carefully read through it. But make sure that you have that stylistic period, the artist name, the date. We will make this a group share lesson. So I'll give you a group slide. You'll post your picture and the general information about the artist, stylistic period, name of the artist, title of the work, when it was created, and stylistic period that they belong to. So like just general basic information. You'll post that in your slide. And so that everybody can see the results. I think this would be a really neat thing to share as a class. And then, like I said, I talk about good lighting source. Maybe you need to go outside. Just make sure the picture's not dark and we can see it clear. And then I also mentioned that, you know, you could pull in, if they're willing, you could pull in a family member, you could pull in a sibling, etc. Or you can go with the second option, which is designing objects instead of designing a person. It doesn't have to be a person. Just make sure you don't have any nudity. Make sure it's appropriate for school. And like I said, no need to buy things. Just pick a picture that you can accomplish based on the items that you have in your house. So picking your artist, all of that stuff is due by May 15th. Like I said, I just showed you that assignment where you're going to go in, look at the list that I provided. And as you see, a lot of people have already started commenting. So that is due this Friday. And then the final product, so your picture, adding your picture to the group slide and the general information about the artist will be due next Friday. And then I just talked about here also, like, you know, this will probably be the second to last project that we do. We're heading towards the end of the school year. And I'll probably post one more Edpuzzle assignment to get you prepared for the last project. And it's an art criticism process that can help you in the next classes. And here I just posted some more examples, girl with the pearl earring. And then at the end here, I also posted my resources. So I pulled a lot of these images from an Instagram account I follow. And unfortunately, like I don't know all the names for the paintings, but the ones I did know, I did try and post some of that there. So just some examples there. I think that one's so cute. Arcimboldo, Picasso, you can paint your face. That's totally optional. You know, whatever you have. Of course, you know, if you paint your face, just make sure it's like, you know, non-allergenic and waterproof. You know, don't put anything permanent on yourself. I love. I don't know about you guys, but I just think it's so neat when people like incorporate tissue paper and things like that. But just look at how, you know, the different artists or the different people were able to stylize themselves. You know, maybe you stand near a curtain in your house, you know, things like that. Maybe you close the curtain and the curtain could be a backdrop. Or if you have a light bed sheet, maybe you can hang it, you know, ask permission first, ask for help. And, you know, maybe you can hang a curtain up, hang a bed sheet up with a curtain rod. And, you know, that way I wouldn't recommend putting a bedspread on it. That'd probably be too heavy. But, you know, a bed sheet would be light enough that you could hang something up. So like I said, you have two options. So the option before was with a person, if you decide to do yourself or a family member, etc. You know, it could be a team effort. Or you could decide just to design some objects laying around your house. And I love this example with Picasso too, because I know some of you are in band and orchestra. So maybe you find an artwork that you could implement your instrument. And there's that tissue paper again. And so I love this is like a whole cleaning products to represent that piece. You know, so think about, you know, the different things and try your best to get a close, zoomed in image. Nothing far away. You want a nice close up, cropped image to closely try and represent whatever you're trying to work with. And strong, very strong lighting. Grab a lamp. Use somebody else's phone as a flashlight. Grab a flashlight. Do you have like emergency lamps, things like that in your house? So grab lighting or take it outside, you know, pick a time of day where the lighting is really good outside. You know, you could arrange your stuff there if you need really good lighting. I thought this was also a neat example. Like, let's say if you did want to do a person, but you don't really want to pose yourself or your family members. But this person totally did this with fabric. So maybe you have some shirts and you could use like a pillowcase, you know, whatever you have laying around and ball it up, manipulate it, use some sculpture techniques, roll up the, you know, tissue paper or paper towel, whatever you have access to, you know. And then it's just some sites of where I found some of that information. Okay, well, that is it. So like I said, this week, I'm just looking for you to post your artist, and that's the only assignment. But you definitely want to start your planning process. Start going ahead and looking around the house, gathering objects, things like that. Because next week I'll be looking for you to upload your picture to that shared document and, you know, add the general information. So I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And I, you know, can't wait to follow up with you, and hit me up if you have any questions via email or Remind app. And happy hunting. Have a good one.